What's good, everyone? This is your boy DJ's Raw Uncut Truth. Give you that raw content that you deservedly need. And man, the 2020 draft class is a lot better than what the experts predicted. A couple of months ago, me and a couple of YouTubers were talking about the draft, and lo and behold, we were saying that the draft was better than what people thought it was. People thought we was making some shit up. They thought that we only praised the draft just to boost Lamelo Ball. They thought wrong. So far, this draft has exceeded expectations with multiple athletes averaging double figures. And don't forget, this is a COVID year. You got a player like Lamelo Ball who is leading stats in assists, rebounds, steals, and he's second in points. You have other players like Patrick Williams from the Chicago Bulls. He's averaging 10, 3, and 3, and he's not even being used that much. Of course, you have Anthony Edwards, who is averaging 13.6 points. A little off shooting, a lot off shooting. He's shooting 27% from 3, but hey, he's scoring in double figures. Tyrese Halliburton, who has been a surprise this year, is averaging 12.1 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 5.3 assists in 9 games. Don't forget he was injured in 2 games. So could you imagine what his stats would be? Speaking of Halliburton is leading in minutes. And one day LaMelo may get to the minutes he gets, but we'll see what happens. But this draft class is something special. You have, and I didn't even mention Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey, he had a game where he averaged 39 points in that game. Yeah, he scored with 33 shots, but hey, you can't take that away from the brother. I mean, the list goes on. Prichard is doing well with the Celtics. He's coming off the bench. He's being a microwave. So, Rev, what do you think about this draft class, and what do you think about the experts getting this thing wrong?
Shout out to the family, man. Shout out to the family. I see Hoop Jargon done pulled up on us. Man, fire your scouts, man. Fire your scouts, man. Dig into the crates. Find some scouts, man. Find some guys that really love doing what they doing. That's not just, you know what I'm saying, reading and regurgitating the cliff notes of other scouts, man. There's a lot of good scouts out of here that are, you know, they don't have as much notoriety, but they put in the work. They put in the work on the AAU level. They put in the work on the high school level. They put in the work on the college level. And, you know, it's time for some new blood, man. These old regimes got to change, man, because if you were looking objectively, it was a lot of talent in this draft class. It was. But if you were just regurgitating, you know, themes and notes, then you would miss out on a guy like Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton was always, you know, a solid, veteran-like young player. When he was at Iowa State, like, that was his game. Exactly what he's doing in Sacramento is what he was doing as the point guard for Iowa State. He's a steady hand. He's a steady hand. Yes, like I've been saying about Melo, Tyrese Halliburton's shot is very unorthodox, but it falls. You know what I'm saying? It falls. And as long as the shot falls, it shouldn't matter what the form is like. Well, what is he shooting right now, DJ? Isn't he shooting like close to 43% from 3? What is he shooting?
Yes, Halliburton, that is correct.
Yes.
So Tyrese Halliburton is shooting 50% from 3. I repeat that, 50% from 3.
Yeah. I thought it was a high number. He's shooting 50% from threes. He's very efficient. He's good with the ball for a rookie as far as assist to turnover ratio. But they wrote the guy off. You know what I'm saying? And they pushed him out of the top 10 because they were concerned with his shooting form. The birth of analytics has, there's some good in it, but in a lot of ways it's ruined the sport. And I heard Gilbert Arenas say this, and I agree with him. When you try to marginalize everything with numbers and you try to make everything systematic and everything has to be one way, then you're taking the human element out of sports. Tyrese Halliburton has an unorthodox shot, but it falls. LaMelo Ball has an unorthodox shot, but when he gets hot, it falls. You know what I'm saying? Score, shooter, shoot. So, yeah, man, this draft class I think is going to end up being a lot better than what people thought. Even James Wiseman, even though I don't necessarily like the fit in Golden State, you cannot deny the potential that this kid has at 7 foot, getting up and down the court like a guard at times. He should project to be an excellent rim runner, at least by year 2, that knows his job and knows the importance of rim running and getting to the weak side, getting to the strong side, and everything that goes along with being an athletic big man. Even Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards has shown flashes of brilliance. The only person really in the top 10 that I would say is disappointed, and I don't want to isolate the kid, would be Killian Hayes. But a lot of scouts were saying before the draft, as the draft got closer, that Killian Hayes was a better point guard right now than LaMelo Ball because LaMelo was unproven. And they were saying that Killian Hayes is the safer pick. Well, early into this rookie season, that's a damn lie. But I'm passing it over to the brother Hoop Jargon.
Well, gentlemen, welcome to the world that is basketball evaluation, man. Jay Billis is probably one of the most quote-unquote respected minds out there as far as, rating draft picks and what have you. That dude misses all the time. And I'm not one of them dudes who's going to sit back and like, because you know what? It's hard to project out what's going to, be next level. So again, want to take Walter in the building. I'm just gonna tell y'all what I know, man. Just think about all the the surefire guys that didn't pan out like you thought, like the Jimmer Fredettes, the Adam Morrisons, the y'all know the names, Hashim Thabits, all these high top 5 guys, right? They don't pan out. So it's very hard, man. And I respect Rev where you coming from, talking about what Travis Halliburton was doing. You know what I mean? And he's the same guy. But you literally can apply that knowledge to guys who are bust, who do work. Like, look at Frank Kaminsky. Look at who was on his team, the other white kid with the athleticism. He went to the Rockets. What's his name?
Sam Decker.
Sam Decker. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough, man. Well, even in around that same era, like the and DJ, you appreciate these, the twins from Houston that played for Kentucky.
Harrison twins.
And if you're from Texas, man, everybody was thinking them dudes gonna be the best next 2 thing since sliced bread. I don't even think either one of them was on the NBA roster right now. You know what I mean? So it's one of the hardest things in the world to do. So I want to keep all this stuff in proper context, man. It's an extreme guessing game. Now we look like gods because we knew LaMelo was gonna be the shit. And so it's cool. We can lay our hats on this, but I'm gonna follow my own sword. I thought Thon Maker was gonna be the deal. He looked so good in preseason, his rookie year, and Thon Maker, man, is a 11th man on the bench now, man. You know what I mean? So it can happen. So I don't try to focus so much on the I told you so's with this because it's damn hard to predict. But when people miss glaring holes on ones, again, like an Anthony Bennett. I think anybody with 2 eyes could have saw that dude was going to be a bum. So I think, the guys are panning out well for this draft class. I don't like to give evaluations too swiftly, but y'all said all the relevant names, throw in some Ngeke and Congo. I know my man from, God damn it, man. I don't know why I'm forgetting names. Who else went over there with LaMelo this year? Went to the Nuggets.
RJ Hampton.
RJ Hampton. That's an easy name. I'm tripping. And I expect him to be a slow burn. That's a deep ass team he on. So I just try not to get too overzealous too quickly with the evaluations, and because you're not gonna know what you really got out of a rookie per se. to about 40 games in. So that's just that's the level I'm gonna tread at right now. And I just don't have a hot take on them until I just really see somebody just can't play, or if a fit does not fit them, as far as their talent, the team. So, I just think that the rookies are looking as good as I can, pretty much expect. And I do like Wiseman, though. Like, Wiseman looks pretty good playing in space. Compliment that Golden State void. They had a big man for pretty much like 3 seasons now since JaVale's been gone. So, that's kind of where I'm at on that, man.
What they did was underestimate the draft, and I know why they was doing it. I'm not trying to be the conspiracy theorist around here, but ever since Lamelo was in that preseason top 5, a draft that they said it was going to be a great draft, when Lamelo was projected to be the 32nd overall pick before the NBL, a lot of folks is like, man, this draft is loaded. The number 1 point guard prospect is Cole Anthony, such and such, it's such and such. They were saying Nico Mannion was a top 15 pick, top 10 pick.
Nico Mannion.
Yep. You remember that.
Man, come on.
And then when the games were played, and then when LaMelo Ball started to show out in the NBL, and LaMelo Ball was listed as a top 5 prospect, the tune changed. Oh, this is a weak draft. This is definitely not a good draft. This is just like the 2013 draft. And metric-wise, this is one of the best drafts in years starting out, because there's so many players with scoring double figures, and some doing it with limited minutes in a pandemic year. So this is the reason why new media is rising right now. These scouts, today's scouts, they're not the same. They're emotional. When they have an agenda for a player, they're going to diss that player and they're going to diss that draft class. That is the biggest weakness of most evaluators. They operate off emotion and not logic. They get into their feelings and it gets personal with them. They'll go on their profile and say, oh, I don't like the company he keeps, or I don't like their family, or be careful with this person, he has a bad background. When they don't even know the person they're evaluating. And God of Blackness said the greatest, weakest draft ever, LOL. I need a draft like this every year.
Man.
I mean, it's crazy.
Let me add something to it real quick.
Brother.
And what you saying is so cogent, man, because a lot of people don't understand. These media dudes are lames. Most of them. They are lames. They are nerds. These are dudes you would not have a conversation with in real life if they didn't have that press pass on their chest. And so what they do, like you said, they get personal when they don't like certain character traits in a certain guy. And because they know what's the old saying, the pen is mightier than the sword, right? So they know if they just have a personal vendetta, they can put their little venom out there, and they got their little, most media guys have a cult of personality under them, meaning basically a group of guys who gonna go with their every beck and call, where everything they say is gospel. And they know they got that power, man. And that's how they do it. And it's funny when they get the egg on their face, they just crawl that out. Like they never said this horrible prediction. But, with that new media movement, we going to call them a task. And you know me, like I got on Woody Page ass on Twitter a few weeks ago. And that boy was back because he basically said LaMelo Ball, his career was over 2 years ago. And obviously it ain't. And this is before he even got his triple-double. Like I did this when he got drafted. So I want to go troll him. I don't even want to troll him. That's not my personality type. I'm going to hold you to task, man. So, this new media movement ain't going to let you get away with them bullshit predictions just because you got a media credential on your chest, man.
Bruh, I'm up here listening, but I was watching NBA Game Time. Yo, am I the only one that think Candace Parker bad as hell, bro? Like, she bad as hell, bro. Like, that was a side note, man. But
I like her.
Like, yeah, she bad, right? But she probably like 16. You have to climb that tree, but hey, it is what it is.
I'm 6'7", man. It's all good for me.
Yeah, you ready? You ready?
Hey, y'all remember next Friday and Friday after next.
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how that'd be like.
I'm trying to see what that
I ain't never had that.
Boy, you crazy, man.
but nah, yo. G said I'm the only one. Don't do me like that, G.
No, he ain't the only
Don't do
one,
me
though.
like that, G.
I climbed that tree. I ain't got to climb it. You know, we face to face with it.
But yeah, my G's. Yeah, man. That's why I can't, bro. Like one of the brothers was saying in the chat. King Common Sense, hell of a name. Man. Every time I see it, that's a hell of a name. Yeah, man. They all come from the NCAA boys club, man. I don't take the shit serious, man. Everything, you know, you can put a title on anything, man. You know what I'm saying? You can put a title on a pig and call him a cow if you got enough money to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I identify as cow.
Right. I identify. Oh boy, you wild for that. But nah, man, like you just said, bro. Jay Billis, man, stop playing, bro. Doug Gottlieb. I remember Doug Gottlieb was shitting on Lonzo and LeVar and the Ball family so bad. You know what I'm saying? And basically, I was listening to the podcast today, and they were talking about the write-up on Lamelo before he got to the league, which was entitled, spoiled, wouldn't work for it. You know, like all of these baseless ass claims.
Yep.
All of these are baseless claims. Yep. That's my problem with it, and that's why I can't take it serious. Also, you played college ball, jargon, man. So you a hooper. You like I said, hoopers know hoopers. Yeah. I'm not saying white boys can't hoop. That's not true. You got a lot of guys that are white that are great hoopers. You know what I'm saying? Coming off screen, sometimes some got handled. You know, all of that. But with that being said, on average, we know this is a brothers' league. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Look, every time you turn on your TV, that's what you're seeing on the majority of rosters. So it's just hard for me. I'm in the music industry. You know what I mean? It's very hard for me to sit in meetings with other labels and hear them tell me about trap and what they want to hear out of a trap artist that I may know. Yeah. Like, motherfucker, you from Connecticut. Stop playing with me. My bad. But like, bro, you don't know anything about trap rap. I can't take Jay Billis seriously. And it's not because, okay, who he is. I listen to their breakdowns. Their breakdowns are prehistoric. Their breakdowns are coming on an NCAA level. No greater than that. The NBA is a different game, an entirely different game. Yeah. Their breakdowns on Lamelo were so wrong. I got so much joy before the Lamelo versus Lonzo game. And it was because I saw a hint from Lonzo that maybe he is a student of the game. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been questioning his love for the game lately. And that's just me. But he made a statement that let me know that he knows a bit about basketball. Anybody who thinks LaMelo can't shoot, you don't know basketball, bro. You don't know basketball. All shooters are not equal. He is a streaky guy. The first thing they asked him about his brother's game is like, tell us something about your brother's game. He said he's a streaky shooter, and if he gets hot, you're in trouble. That's who Melo is.
Sound like Kobe to me.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's just I can't take him serious. I'm not writing off every scout, but a lot of the scouts that are, you know what I'm saying, a part of a certain ring, especially if they're connected with media, if you really just read the write-ups, you can go to NBA.com, you can go to ESPN.com, and you're pretty much seeing the same write-ups. And that's not objectivity. That's just copying a narrative, taking a shortcut on your job. Because like I said, with Tyrese Halliburton, that was not a surprise to me. Like Jimmy Fredette being a bum, that's not a surprise to me. That's not a surprise to me. Because if you play that point guard position in the league, if you play any kind of wing position in the league, in order to be elite, in order to be good, you got to have a certain level of wiggle to you. One of the main problems with Zoe is he doesn't have that much wiggle. So he's got to come off of screen and rolls. You know what I mean? Guys like Westbrook didn't have as much wiggle but they were very explosive and athletic. But yeah, man, I think they were hard on this draft class exactly for what you said, DJ, because Lamelo ended up rising to the top. Is definitely agenda. Bro, you just said Nico Mannion, bro. You said Nico Mannion was considered a top 15 point guard. And this guy, and he's a rookie. Yeah, I know he's a rookie and all of that. But this guy I ain't seen him in a uniform all year. They were saying that guy is better than LaMelo Ball. That's how much of bias and hate that they show towards the family.
Bro, I was literally telling folks when they was talking about all that crap about Nico Mannion being better than LaMelo. This is before LaMelo was a top 5 ranked player. I clearly told him, how in the hell are you going to try to pass on a 6'7" point guard who can handle the ball like that? I'm not. If I was a GM, these are who are talent evaluators. It's personal. When I saw that first 2020 ranking, like when it first started, they made the first mistake by having LaMelo a second rounder. We know what that was all about.
Yep.
They made another mistake by some of the same players who were projected top 10 players were drafted later in the rounds. I remember Isaiah Stewart was projected to be a top 6 player. He was drafted later in the rounds. Isaiah Stewart was drafted in 16th. Precious Achiuwa, he was supposed to be a top 8 player before the new rankings came out, and he was drafted in number 20. Tyrese Maxey, who is a good player, by the way, was projected to be top 4, top 7. He got drafted at 21. So these folks are always wrong when evaluating talent.
Yeah, I bet you all of those names go to prestigious schools. I know Tyrese Maxey went to Kentucky. It's a racket, man. It's the mob, like you said.
Well, I would say this is more than anything. It's just, like back in high school, man, when you ain't prepared for the test, what you do to try to get your answers?
Cheat off shorty.
Cheat off the next person's sheet. And that's what you see, man, because them dudes, to their credit, they make a lot of money and they cover a whole bunch of information, right? So, man, this is a funny clip, man. If you go look back, like Stephen A. Smith said like 3 years ago, the Chargers were playing against somebody. This motherfucker was naming dudes to watch out for who wasn't even active for the game. You know what I'm saying? And it's like one of them biggest egg on the face situations. But you got to understand, when you're on that level, it is a little rough because you got to know a lot of different stuff in a short period of time. And a lot of them, they pay their researchers to help them. Another example was Charles Barkley. The first year he covered the NCAA tournament, this dude ain't know nobody's name. Yeah, number 12 is Syracuse. Yeah, I like him. He didn't do his due diligence. And it's not because Chuck don't know basketball. It's just when you get to a certain profile level, you start Cadillacing, you know what I'm saying? And these dudes do that at that level. So, and it's okay to call them a task, but I'm always a guy, I'm going to give you understanding if I so see it that way. And that's kind of what goes on. So it's funny to sit back, you know what I'm saying? You get the crow on their face. I more so get on dudes' ass who's so staunch about somebody not being somebody, and they turn out to be well. That's kind of what triggers me. It's like when you say this person a bust, he ain't gonna be this, he gonna be that, or he's gonna be the next best thing, and he's a surefire guy, and he turns out fall on his face. That to me shows very, very poor evaluation. Now, if you just miss on a guy, no problem. And to DJ's point, going back to Lamelo, when he was on a second round pick, when he first, I think they put him at second round when he went back to Spire. I know guys who work for NBADraft.net who was like echoing that sentiment. And I was just like, dog. And then these people I talk to, man, I can hit up on the phone. I'm like, y'all got to get off that bullshit. I know y'all don't like LeVar. That dude is a top 10 pick, man. And he going to keep growing. Because at the time, he's like, 6'3"? Like, he's going to keep growing. He's going to be a better version than Lonzo. I'm telling him this in moment. And he arguing me, man, you don't know. And I respect where he come from. I respect how he evaluates people. I think he was high on Cassius Stanley at the time and some other names you can throw out.
Cassius Stanley.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So,
no,
I understand the process, man. I really do, man. These dudes, but to new media's credit, you got to stop doing with that old cheating off the next man cheat sheet and going with that and not doing your own evaluations. Because I mean, Lamelo Ball is shown to be damn near single-handedly one of the worst evaluated kids in a long ass time, and it's definitely been off of bias from his father. You know what I'm saying? And it's a goddamn shame, man.
Yeah, man. It really is. I mean, we can't ignore the fact a lot of these top scouts, they get the bag from these universities. They get the bag to write good articles. Like it's an entire racket, man. The NCAA is a racket. I don't know if y'all saw the ruling today, where basically they got an opportunity to postpone the vote on whether or not they're going to pay athletes for the likeness, and they're taking every loophole they can to delay this vote and having to play these players. So I mean, it's one big cesspool full of fuckery. It's not a conspiracy. It's 100% fact. You write a good article. If a guy gets drafted from a certain school, it helps with recruiting. That helps, the NCAA when the top teams are the top teams. Every year, Kentucky produces draft picks. How many of those guys have panned out versus how many of those guys haven't panned out? It doesn't really matter because as long as they keep writing those articles and they keep getting scouted with high grades, you know what I'm saying? The cycle just continues, man. I want to talk about some other names in this draft class that are playing better than people projected. Like DJ keeps bringing up Patrick Williams, man. Patrick Williams. Nobody saw this coming. I don't even think he was starting at Florida State, was he? Wasn't he coming off the bench at Florida State, DJ?
Yeah, he came off the bench, but don't forget he's a second youngest player in this draft. Florida State had a veteran team, but the scouts knew that Patrick Williams was the guy. They were telling scouts, hey, he's coming off the bench because this is a veteran-led team. But this dude, he's going to be the real deal. That's why the Bulls drafted him too early. You see, I wasn't even making fun of the Bulls drafting Patrick Williams at 4 because I've seen him play. I've seen his talent, and they see him as a player that if he was in this year's draft, right, he would get picked the same way. So they're like, let's draft him at 4. And look, in 26 minutes, he's averaging 10.2 points, and he's been very efficient doing that in limited minutes, but starting.
That's impressive.
They had him well down in the first round. And like you said,
good scouting.
They were the butt of a lot of jokes came draft night. They were the butt of a lot of jokes when it came draft night as far as taking him as high as they did. Killian Hayes, let's talk about Killian Hayes. I'm not gonna go hard on the kid, but look, if they can evaluate and just doing their job, then goddamn it, I'm doing my job. I'm evaluating tonight. Killian Hayes, that was a guy they were very high on, and I didn't understand why the hell they were high on him. I'm not saying he's not gonna be a great player one day in this league. Hopefully he will be. You know what I'm saying? He seems to be a streaky shooter. His handles are not exceptional. His passing is okay. Yes, he's 6'4", 6'5", but like you guys just said with the Harrison twins, I didn't like the Harrison twins coming out of Kentucky. I didn't like them at Kentucky because once again, if you're a point guard and you're a straight up and down guy in this new league, it's going to be difficult for you unless you're just an exceptional off-ball, off-screen shooter. If you're not one of those things and you can't get to your spots on the floor and you're a point guard, I don't give a damn if you 6'8". It's going to be difficult for you. You know what I'm saying? And those guys were just too straight up and down. But you're absolutely right. When they came into Kentucky, they were painting them as the second coming of Jalen Rose from the Fab Five. Tall, long point guards that could distribute. But, yeah, man, this draft class is littered with favoritism. It's littered with, really, I'm going to be real with you. Anthony Edwards, man, let's just talk about it. And I'm stuck in the South a lot. I watched him a lot at Georgia. He didn't show me anything to be the number 1 pick. He didn't show me anything to be the number 1 pick. There was nothing about Anthony Edwards that made me say, damn, this guy is the number 1 pick. So honestly, DJ, I felt like the rise of Anthony Edwards really was to spite Melo Ball. Maybe so even James Wiseman, because I would probably take James. If I didn't take Melo one, I would probably take James Wiseman one. I know about the situation with Cat and Minnesota, but even before that Minnesota projection, Edwards was considered the number one prospect. It was back and forth between him and Melo. Then it was back and forth with Wiseman, and when Wiseman got suspended, it was really Anthony Edwards. But Anthony Edwards didn't show me enough consistency at Georgia to warrant a number one pick. So I was always confused. His shooting percentages were not good. I was always confused why he was projected so high. Me personally, I just felt like it was LaMelo Ball bias.
And I like Anthony Edwards. I've defended him multiple times because his character was in question. You know, sometimes people are from the hood, man. That's just how they are. Doesn't mean they're a bad kid. And the media were definitely trying to put hit pieces on Anthony Edwards. Not as bad as what they do on the Ball family, but it was pretty bad. But besides all that, I think the hatred of the Ball family fueled the Minnesota Timberwolves to pick Edwards. You saw the hit pieces, man. I mean, I don't have to make this up. To be honest, who they should have drafted for both parties, I think Wiseman's career, like Wiseman probably would have had the Rookie of the Year wrapped up if he would have went to Minnesota, the Twin Towers. And I know this is a guards game, but D'Angelo Russell and Malik Beasley are scoring very well.
A lot of shots going up, right?
Yes.
Right.
So you put Cat at center, right? And put Wiseman at the power forward. He could play power forward. He's nimble enough. That's a good duo. I would have drafted him anyway. I don't care what Cat says. He's under contract. I would have drafted Wiseman, made it work. And then number two, the Warriors, they should have drafted LaMelo Ball. Can you imagine with him and Steph Curry? That's a nightmare.
You already know my opinion on that.
Oh man, that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare. And I know I'm a fan of LaMelo Ball, but if you watch the game, you see the ability that LaMelo is able to get the rebounds and push the transition, and he's a better shooter now, and he attacks the basket and he penetrates to the paint. You know how many looks Steph would be getting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what Dub Gottlieb and the rest of those clowns are having to admit. We came on the show last week and we said, yo, Golden State dropped the ball. People in the chat section was, the analysts say that on a 1.5 TRSR, LaMelo can't shoot on the left side of the goal. They was going in on us. But this week, these scouts are starting to say, Doug Gottlieb saying he's got scouts on there. Oh, well, Golden State might have messed up by not picking LaMelo. No shit, Sherlock.
Hey.
Like, even if he can't shoot, if he was just setting the table for Steph Curry, bro, that would have been insane.
Listen,
it would have
man.
been insane. And hoop jargon, you were saying that he would have redshirted this year? Hell no. I don't even think he would have redshirted this year.
Yeah, well, hold on. That was with the anticipation of Klay Thompson being there.
Okay, I got you.
So now with Klay Thompson going down, I thought it was a no-brainer that's gonna take him. I was like, oh shit, you gonna speed up what I saw already. So they dropped the ball big time. So I've been since last February when it was very unpopular to say LaMelo Ball to Golden State. I was like, man, Golden State got the assets, they got the shit that they pretty much sleeping on a nice little come up. And so them not getting LaMelo Ball. You talking about when players come extend other guys' careers. LaMelo Ball would extend Steph Curry's career so much, and then you can make him an off guard. And he likes to run out screens anyway. So you got LaMelo Ball who demands attention.
Oh my God.
Steph and Klay run off them picks. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
To the guy in the chat, Royal with the juice. 30 seconds of ether, sir. 30 seconds of ether.
Have the floor, my brother.
Let's make sure you're not a troll. DJ, I hope you got those numbers ready. You
I have them here.
You just did the sign Edwards Ball. That was one of your comments
Okay,
saying
I see
that
that.
Edwards is better than Ball. And the argument you use, and this, hoop jargon, this is why I be on their ass about these narratives. Because this is a guy who's not watching the game. He's just hearing narratives. Let's exhibit A for the courtroom. The next thing you said was he doesn't shoot efficient enough, talking about Lamelo Ball, sir. That's who you were talking about, because Hoop Jargon was talking about him being on the Golden State Warriors. Well, DJ, would you please pull up Anthony Edwards' shooting percentage in these first 10 games? And yes, we know they're going to reevaluate it at the next 10 games. But right now, let's look up the efficiency rating of Anthony Edwards and his shooting percentage from three and from regular field goals, sir.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, you're not going to win.
For three, Anthony Edwards shoots 27% from three and 37% field goals.
Yikes.
While taking a bunch of inefficient shots.
Facts. Hey, what do you say on Major Pain? Why don't you feel down? like, bro, I'm just trying to make sure you ain't trolling. Because once again, this is why new media exists. You don't just get to come in here regurgitating what you heard from Bill Simmons or regurgitating what you heard from Doug Gottlieb or Jay Billis or
Colin Cowherd.
Colin Cowherd.
Wait. Brother, he's back at it again. He said they're both struggling from field goals. Okay, let me read LaMelo Ball stats. So LaMelo Ball shoots 36% from three and 44% field goals, as well as 78% free throws.
What a struggle at, bro.
The league average from three this year is 34%.
What a struggle at, bro.
Average.
Y'all gotta cut it out, man. Cut your FS1 off. You know what? These same Mickey Fickies were talking about LaMelo Ball avoids contact. And that's like a big part of his game, absorbing contact and finishing. Like, so y'all gotta watch. You know, I love the fact we gonna hold your task, man. You can't just spitting out what your favorite, sports prognosticator says. You're gonna have to actually watch basketball, man. Sorry, guys.
Hey, Hoop Jargon, bro. Will you please talk to us about the importance of a young player going and seeking out contact? I saw the game last night versus the Knicks, and me and DJ called it. We felt like LaMelo was going to struggle because Thibs is a defensive-minded coach. Yeah. And they were sagging the paint, you know what I'm saying, because they wanted to stop the drive and kick. With that being said, brother, could you talk to us how rare it is to find a guy that size that's willing to take on contact that early in his career?
It's extremely rare because it's not coached. Like, you look at these AAU factions, it's all about ball handles, separation, jump shot, three, step back three. That's how these guys are programmed to basically play at the guard position. You know what I'm saying? And somebody called me a liar, man, who watches AAU. So the benefit of having a guy who has that mentality that goes in and absorbs contact is that you got to keep the defense honest. When you keep the defense honest, it opens the game up for everybody else because they got to protect the rim. And when you protect the rim, you're going to negate the kickouts because you can't just, basically stay and play passing lanes. You got to actually defend a threat of scoring. And with LaMelo Ball having that ability to do that so young, bro, it's going to be limitless opportunities with these guys they plug in. And that's the game outside the game that a lot of people really don't, pay attention to. And that's why, he's been absorbing and finishing in contact for about 2 years now. So I don't understand where that critique came from. So, yeah, man, LaMelo Ball going to be a bad boy because he got that whole bag in him. And he got the element that, not to throw Lonzo on the bus, that Lonzo kind of struggles with because he doesn't really like contact like that. And which I guess what you saw as a cut and paste evaluation, like, oh, well Lonzo, they're similar height.
Yeah, facts. That's what happened.
There you go.
Hey, y'all know what I hear?
Yeah.
Troll alert.
I see him.
Troll alert. Throw
that funky thing on.
Troll alert. That's a new sound. We're gonna play some siren every time I see a troll saying some stupid. He looks like Lonzo 2.0. Come on, man.
Bro,
They got the
I'm
same daddy
What
and
are you
mama.
watching?
bro,
Got the same daddy.
I'm not gonna keep taking a crap on my guy Anthony Edwards. Like I said, I feel like the kid has the potential to be special. Like I've
Right.
seen things in games,
For
even
sure.
when he was in Georgia, when he's locked in, he can roll off 30 on you quick in a half. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna keep shitting on him, but I do see things that I'm worried about. Bro, did you watch the last game, Mister? Are you talking about the Knicks versus Melo, Royal with the juice? My fam, Anthony Edwards was 0 for 8. Even the game where he scored 26 points, he was like 8 for 22, 3 for 10 from the three-point line.
That's
Like
Westbrook numbers.
you're not
Westbrook
watching the game. Like Anthony Edwards struggles from the field every game, and what makes it scary, like DJ was alluding to, he's on a team with everybody putting up shots. That's why they losing. Everyone's putting up 15 shots a game. So when you see a rookie coming in and he's got that mentality too to shoot 21 shots, bro, your team ain't winning nothing for a while. So I don't know what you're talking about. No, you ain't strictly talking about Melo. Bro, you just said that Edwards was better than Melo. We done roasted your ass. That's what it is. We done roasted your ass.
Hold you to task, baby.
Better. You just said that Anthony Edwards was better, bro. Like for real, man. I like Anthony Edwards. I defended him when the ignorant media was dissing Anthony Edwards. I defended him. I said the brother been through a lot. He lost his mother and grandmother. I said that. So we like Anthony Edwards. We just think that LaMelo's better. It's nothing personal.
That's facts.
I mean, shoot. This is funny, man. They don't watch basketball. I bet you didn't watch where Thibs had his defensive guards and wings double team LaMelo Ball. We're not going to talk about that, right?
Bro, Thibs came out today and basically said they game plan for Melo.
Yep.
They were game planning for Melo. Me and DJ knew this was gonna happen. What you about to say, hoop jargon?
No, I'm just saying, I got criticized for saying this a week ago. Man, most fans are casual fans, man. And I only saying this because I run a big ass sports group, and I know what people do. They box score watch, and then they step in with an opinion. And the funny part is, you don't even watch the whole box scores. You don't look at plus or minus. You don't look at efficiency. You don't look at shooting percentages. You look at points, rebounds, assists, and then go. Nah, bro. Nah, that's not how it works, homie.
Bro, man said that Melo reminds him of Lonzo 2.0 because Melo has one night where he's consistent and one night where he's not. Do you know the last 6 games before last night's game, LaMelo has been in double figures every night? Every night with over 5 assists every night. Where about that? What about that with a rookie coming off the bench is inconsistent? You know what I'm saying? Fair. But once again, this is the dangers. I know where you getting that bullshit from. Now, for this roasting that you getting right now, you need to go ahead and tag your homeboys on Twitter and was like, man, y'all set me up to foul. Like, you know what I'm saying? Colin Coward, like you set me up to foul. Like, get some dudes on YouTube that know basketball. And I was just saying what you told me to say. You know what I'm saying? You need to go blame them for this ass whooping you getting right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you come to this channel and go to Hoop Jargon's channel, he'll teach you something about basketball, and DJ will show you the game. Matter of fact, it's free of charge. It's free of charge, all right?
No doubt, man. Shout out to New Media. We're a nation united.
Yes, sir.
We're brothers, man. We building something, man. It's for everybody. Everybody that's part of New Media. You could be a part of this. All you have to do is support all these brothers' content and engage with the community. But I like this rookie class. And we didn't even bring up Sgam They. Thank you, Troy, for that. Sgam They.
Yeah, he's shooting that thing.
Yeah, he's shooting that thing, and that's who I wanted the Pelicans to get. But they wanted to pick a pint-sized guard, but
yeah, they was drafting Lonzo's replacement. That's what
boy.
I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing.
Yeah. He about to have everybody beefing on here.
About to start a fight.
Hey, what's Sadiq Bey's numbers, DJ?
Oh, yes. Good question. So Sadiq Bey, there you go. In 9 games, let me get his shooting percentages. He's shooting 44% three, 40% field goals, 80% free throws, 10.6 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. He's shooting that thing, man. I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, I like Sadiq Bey, man. I like Sadiq Bey, man. You said you want him to go to the Pelicans, DJ?
Yes. Shooter. Perfect fit. That's when you know they're trying to get rid of Lonzo, man. They wouldn't even pick up a fit. I mean, Sadiq Bey was right in the Pelicans' lap.
Yeah, because JJ about done, y'all. JJ looked like cooked liver out there, man.
See, Derrell Spencer said his Celtics should have got him. Yep.
I be seeing JJ Redick in that bubble, man. I could have choked the hell out of him, man. Them shots he was pulling on the break.
Yeah, he looked raggedy, man. You know how you hit that wall in your 30s?
Yeah.
Yeah, he done hit that wall, man. You know, shooters all about legs.
Bro, him and God damn it. Other guard I hate. Shit. What was the other guard just putting them shots up? I can't think his name. I'm having a bad name day. I'm sorry.
What team he play for? I can find
the Pelicans.
Nikhil Alexander Walker.
Walker Alexander.
No, last year.
Oh, the dude that they benched Lonzo for.
E'Twaun Moore.
E'Twaun freaking Moore. Oh my God. Oh my God. Man, the shit he was able to get away with, man. And I'm just like, that's what y'all want to get significant minutes for the Pelicans and not have Lonzo out there. Like, that's what y'all want. Like, that's the only dude I know who passed up an open shot to step back and 3 into a worse one. I don't know, man.
The boy can't get right, man. And shout out to TruDaking King, man. He been supporting this channel. Make sure you support his channel. He said Payton Prichard been balling. Yes, I like what he's doing off the bench, man. He provides a spark for the Celtics. This class is loaded, man. They underestimated this class, and now they're looking like idiots. Now, I've been saying this is a depth-based class, meaning
Yep.
that it may not be a LeBron or a Kobe or Iverson in this draft, but there's some great players in this draft.
Yeah.
And so far, we're right.
That's real. It's only 10 games, but so far.
I like the boy from Israel too, man. That's on Washington. Deni. I like his
Deni.
game. Yeah. I like his game. It's really solid. You know, he's a professional, so he really does already know how to play the game. He doesn't do too much. He's got great height. Somebody was saying something about Lonzo going to the Wizards on the last stream. I wouldn't want to see that happen, and I kind of feel sorry for Deni until Westbrook get the hell up out of there, man. Because because they all over the place like broken glass. I can't even see what Deni is gonna be because some nights it's just too many shots going up between Bradley Beal, who's efficient, and Russell Westbrook, who's not.
Bro, man, guess what they doing? They're ruining this kid. Look what he's at. He's averaging 4.6, so pretty much 46% three, 46% field goals. They're not passing him the ball enough.
What, he get like 5 shots a game though?
Let me see. It's not showing the shot distribution, but it is showing how many points. So 77 points, which is 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2.2 assists, and 23 minutes. They don't pass them the ball enough. They don't create enough plays. They're playing selfish basketball. Nobody wants to defend. I feel bad for Deni, man. I see the talent. He's going to be really good. Once they get Westbrook out of there, and I could shoot anywhere Bradley Beal out of there and get some pieces, I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah, me too. They were asking about RJ Hampton. Hoop Jargon already laid the game down on that, man. RJ Hampton ain't touching the floor for a while.
There you go.
And nor should he. Really, that was cap when they were scouting him. That was cap, bro. RJ Hampton is in the archetype of a Russell Westbrook, a De'Aaron Fox, one of those real athletic point guards. His handles are cool, but there's nothing, ain't nothing to write home about. You know what I mean? He's not a break you down guy. So in the league, where it's a bunch of athletic wings, until you get your man's body and you can absorb contact and finish through the contact, then it's nothing RJ can really help them with right now. They got their backcourt, they got their starting guard, and they got the guy coming off the bench, you know what I'm saying, who's a great shooter, number 11. So there's really not a place for RJ Hampton right now for the Denver Nuggets. But learning isn't a bad thing. What do you think about that, Jargon?
No, it's my thing too. Like, his archetype is kind of a dying archetype, man. Like that 6'3", 6'4" athletic point, like you saying. He reminds me a little bit too of man. What's my man's? He got drafted by Minnesota. I think he played for the Bulls now. He's supposed to be the next best point guard, like Westbrook type.
Zach LaVine.
No, not Zach LaVine. Before him, dark skinned brother.
You talking about Kobe White?
No,
Kobe
before him.
I don't even know, bro.
No, he was the Timberwolves got him, and he was supposed to be the guy. It didn't work out, and they shipped him to the Bulls.
Okay, is he that defensive guard?
About 6'4".
He played at Providence.
Yes, that's it.
Chris Dunn.
He's done.
I'm on my basketball knowledge today.
Yeah, boy, I can't think of names today. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You cooking, man?
Man, it must be that remembrance weed I've been smoking. God, I remember everything. God damn.
Yeah, so that's kind of a dying archetype, man. Like, so, and it's like John Wall too. We can throw him in that scrap heap. You got to kind of move away from 6'4", super hyper athletic, but doesn't have a good feel for the game. So I don't love that, me personally, man. I think the league's kind of disavowing itself from that type of character player. You know what I mean?
Bro, they say I'm watching the chat. Bro, I said that before the chat was even before they said it in the chat.
Well, y'all foul for that, man.
Come on, man.
Get a man his flowers, man.
Give my man his flowers.
Give my man his flowers. Man.
Hey, the chat was on it though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, they own it too. But Hoop Jar, you would have got me if I was chat watching now.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, you would have been like, DJ, you chat watching. He would have said it on my channel. He wouldn't even care.
I don't know why I can't think of names today, bro. I don't know what's wrong with me, man.
But bro, True the King says something that's so like spot on about Deni. Deni is taking, and he got these stats. He said he was taking 5.6 shots a game. That's not enough for Deni. He needs to be taking more than that. And he's playing with a bunch of ball hogs, man. I'll tell you, Deni could be averaging 14 a game right now if they just pass him the damn ball. He's shooting 45% from three and 45% from field goals.
And this is what
playing with ball hogs.
This is why I say every process is not good. If it's a Wendy's in the hood and they got roaches, they got bylaws and guidelines, but you might not want to eat there. That's the Washington Wizards. They're destroying the development of their young players by bringing a guy like Westbrook in. They got Hachimura over there. You know what I'm saying? Hachimura showed a lot of promise last year. But how do you develop guys like him and Deni, where Bradley Beal is deservedly taking his 20 shots a game, and then you got Westbrook that needs his 20 shots a game, maybe 40 shots a game, and his usage rate, I'm sure, is through the roof. So, I mean, it's gonna be an interesting role for Deni, man, because the reason why I'm more skeptic with guys like Deni on teams like the Wizards, when your team is that bad, it's rare that a team is coming in bringing that A game. I've seen a lot of international players do good on mediocre teams, and then for their second contract, they get the bag and they go to a better team, and they're not the guy that people thought they were. So I want to see Deni develop. I want to see Hachimura develop, but until they get Russell Westbrook up out of there, it's gonna be difficult to see either one of those guys really develop and flourish the way we would like to see. Y'all are asking about Cole Anthony. I like Cole Anthony. I think Cole Anthony is cold. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna have a very difficult time because he's had knee injuries, and his game is really predicated off athleticism. His game is predicated off athleticism. He's a streaky shooter. He does have a decent handle. And what I've seen in the NBA is he's a decent distributor, but he's definitely a shoot-first point guard. He's a bouncy point guard. He's an athletic point guard. So he's gonna have to add some things to his game, being undersized with that going on in order to reach his full potential, I would think.
And yeah, God of Blackness is right on one thing. He said Deni's temperament may be a fit for the situation. They're not going to make a fuss about minutes, especially because of the stars of the team. I feel bad for the brother, man, because he's so polite. Like, I don't think he's a pushover, but I think he's polite by nature. He respects his elders and his veterans. But as a fan of basketball, I feel bad for him, Thomas Bryant, and Rui Hachimura, because those are players I see that have a lot of potential, but they're being underutilized because people want to get their stats and shots. Bradley Beal was making a fuss in the media talking about we can't defend an ocean or a pond. Well, he's not defending well either. He's just taking a bunch of shots and worrying about his stats. So not only you got players that are taking a bunch of crappy shots, but putting players under the bench pretty much just because they're frustrated. They're not being leaders at all. It's a bad situation. If you would have told me that the Washington Wizards would have been 2-8 starting out, I would have been like, shit, no. But here we are.
Not me.
Me either.
Not me. Russell Westbrook, everything is possible.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Yo, when is the last time y'all seen on NBA advertisement them advertise a game and the only player they show for the team is a bench player? Have y'all ever seen that?
That'll be never.
Bro.
Oh, we're seeing it now with Lamelo.
Exactly. Because you know they added another game for the Charlotte Hornets. They've been added to just like I said it was going to happen. They were added to the Saturday night game on NBA TV. And I knew this was going to happen. And also now they're showing Lamelo as the marquee player for the Charlotte Hornets. I know Gordon Hayward is scoring a lot of points and Terry Rozier gets hot. But I'm telling you, man, like these people know after that triple-double who the marketing dollars are going to be behind. And I feel like, really, man, unless these people are insane, it's only a matter of time before it's his team, man. I'm trying to think of some other rookies, man. Pat Williams, we talked about him. Prichard, we talked about him. Oh, another kid I want to talk about. I think is a good player.
Precious Achiuwa from the Heat.
Precious Achiuwa is a hell of a player. He reminds me a lot of the manimal, whatever his name was, Kenneth Faried. He reminds me a lot of Kenneth Faried. He got a lot of Kenneth Faried in this game. A little bit better post moves. But now I wanted to talk about this kid that went to college. He was a no-star recruit. Even when he was coming out in the draft, a lot of scouts were not high on him. And that's the kid from Memphis. I think his name is Dunn. And he's shooting a high three-point percentage. I think he's averaging like 10 points a game, and he's really helping Memphis out. That's another guy that they missed on. It's another guy that they didn't evaluate and they overlooked.
Bro, you're talking about Bain.
Yeah, Bain. Yeah, Desmond Bain. I'm sorry. And Hoop Jargon, you know this, bro. You seem like a hooper in the golden age of hooping. You know what I'm saying? Which I like to always talk about, which is to me, really from the Fab 4 days all the way to about Kimball Walker at Connecticut. When hoop, to me, college hoop was at its most competitive. Like, really, man, college is it's not as significant as it used to be. You don't get the same feel from the Final Four. You don't get the same feel from March Madness when you used to have the classics like Kentucky versus Duke and Jamal Mashburn going up against Antoine Walker going up against Stackhouse or somebody like that. Like when college basketball was at its finest. I say this to say that if you know anything about basketball, the NBA really pushed an initiative after the 2000 season to integrate a lot of international players in order to gain international dollars like the NFL Europe. I'm bringing that up to say this. When you're looking at these evaluations, just know each draft, someone who is deserving from the States is going to be under-evaluated to make room for European players. It happens every year. It happens every year. Every year this happens, and it's been happening since the 2000s. And, you know, a lot of this is business. A lot of it is agenda because at the end of the day, the NBA wants to make money. So a lot of these overseas guys, we talk about the guys that they hit on, like Luka Doncic and Bogdanovich and players like that. But for every one of those guys, you got a lot of guys that they miss on.
Well, let me say this, brother. I'm not against it because I played overseas, obviously, and I know the game is different. And that's a double-edged sword, what you're speaking about, because that's very true. Like, and that's Dick Vitale's. That's what he always puts his eggs in that basket. Like, you drafting all these European guys, we got all this domestic talent that we're missing out on, blah, 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 which I get both sides of that because, you know, there are a lot of great guys we see play in the NCAA, especially in the golden era that you're speaking about. I will say that there are a lot of guys, though, who do well in that spectrum, who next level don't give you shit. Let's talk about Trajan Langdon. Let's talk about Julius Hodge. Let's talk about what's another.
Hey, what you know about the Alaskan assassin? Who,
you know what I'm saying?
What's going on, okay?
Trajan Langdon, boy, got busy, boy. You feel me? But Trajan Langdon was supposed to be so for y'all don't know who Trajan Langdon is. He's supposed to be basically what Ray Allen became. He's supposed to be the next like Ray Allen kind of guy. So there are a lot of guys that I can rattle off names all day that did their thing. Like, you know, hell, let's go Brent Price. Let's go hell, I'll even go Christian Laettner. Didn't really have that good of an NBA career. We can go, we can rattle off names all day. You know what I mean? And so I'm not so upset that some of those guys, like your Frank Kaminsky's, like, you know, more currently your Harrison twins, may not get opportunity over a guy overseas who's playing the ACB league, which is the best league overseas in Spain. Did you think
that Frank Kaminsky was going to be a good player in the NBA?
No, I did not, but he got a lot of hype though coming out of college though.
That's that good old boy network though.
Fair
a lot
enough.
of these Christian Laettner.
I mean, Christian Laettner was a hooper though. Like, he was a baller, man.
Yeah, but that was a system. You know what I mean? Like the
he's one of the greatest college basketball players of all time, though, bro.
What you say, brother?
He's one of the greatest college basketball players of all time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But so was Jimmer Fredette in some circles. You know what I'm saying? But
Tyler Hansbrough, we can keep going.
You feel Tyler Hansbrough?
We can keep going.
Wow, you really dug in the crates.
Yeah. Well, we go. What's that? So we just talked about Candace Parker, the ugly ass dude that shot our club up.
Who?
Oh, shoot! You talking?
I can't think his name. Play for Duke. Sheldon Williams.
Sheldon Williams
was and I know he's a joke now, but in his prime, he was a guy. Like, he was
the ugly dude that shut the club up.
He shut Candace Parker's club up, man. That's tough, man.
Bro, I don't know what type of game he put on Candace, man. He probably told her, "Hey, don't worry about how I look. I know I'm fugly. I know this. I'm in the NBA, baby.
Hey, boy, you hell, man.
I got you covered. I'm in the NBA, baby."
Hey, I ain't gonna front. Me and Sheldon Williams about the same age. Man, he gave me he had me thinking I could give me a nice one too. Like, just like if Sheldon Williams can get Candace Parker, shit, the sky's the limit for your boy, man. But I say all that to say this, man. It's a double-edged sword with, you know, the names that look at a guy even like TJ Ford from Texas, who I love. I played against him in high school. It just didn't quite pan out all the way for him. So I'm not upset to see a Luka Doncic, a Kristaps Porzingis, guys who play, Ricky Rubio play upper level overseas. Now, I don't want to see guys like Darko Milicic that play third league Bosnia and shit, whatever the hell he's from, get drafted that high. Now, I don't want to see that. But guys who play in certified leagues, I'm not upset by it, bro.
Darko Milicic. Goddamn.
Can you imagine if Carmelo was drafted by the Pistons? And I know some of the Ben Wallace is like, we wouldn't have won the championship if we got Carmelo. Come on, stop the cap.
Okay.
Those dudes would have won 3 championships straight. They would have won 3. What you think, Rev? If they would have drafted Carmelo instead of Darko?
I mean, he would have been the piece that they really needed. They needed a wing scorer. They didn't have that. Tayshaun was more of a defensive presence. Like,
absolutely.
Somebody came on here like, who was that? They came, man, I'm not even gonna say this dude's name, but I know who it was. But somebody came on here and was trying to sell the people on the fact that Tayshaun Prince was a superstar.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Man, stop playing, bro.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. He wasn't a superstar at Kentucky. That's back when Kentucky wasn't even good.
Facts.
I don't think he's the best player on their team. What? And brother, you know what? Him coming to the Pistons would have been damn near prophecy from the 80s when Mark Aguirre came over and changed they dynamic up, bring another wing scorer. It damn near would have been prophecy. A 20-year later prophecy if Carmelo would have just fell in their lap like that, bro.
Man, y'all got me thinking. That Denver team was crazy too, though.
Yep.
They had Chauncey Billups. They had well, no, I ain't counting that one.
Kenyon Martin.
Yeah. I'm talking about when they finally figured out their lineup. Kenyon Martin, Chauncey Billups, yeah, and they had JR coming off the bench, right?
They had Birdman. Yep, JR.
Yeah, man, that team really, man.
Marcus Camby.
Marcus Camby, right?
That Denver team was something, man. Well, they went to the Western Conference Finals.
Yep, they sure did.
And got spanked by that boy.
Oh yeah, the Bean.
Hey man,
that brother said Rasheed Wallace.
Boy, man.
Yeah, that was my guy, man. Rasheed Wallace was my guy, man.
Man, every team needed a Rasheed Wallace.
Man, for real though, especially in that era.
Oh, biggest misses since we talking about scouts, man. And y'all might disagree, man, but I had a lot of hope in this cat, man. Michael Beasley, man.
Oh boy.
Michael Beasley, man. Michael Beasley be at Lifetime Fitness up here terrorizing kids now.
Bruh.
Playing 5-on-5. What's going on, man?
Michael Beasley getting boys 20 and 20 in college. He was a 20-20 guy.
He was so cold, bro.
I could have swore that I was right on Michael Beasley, man. I can't believe he was a killer in Kansas State, man.
Absolutely.
I can't believe he didn't turn out to be the player he was, who I thought he would be. I mean, that was the one player that I was like ticked off that he didn't pan out. He didn't take the game seriously, man.
I think it was psychological, man. Beasley, one of them dudes you talk to, and when you talking to him, like three minutes into the conversation, you say to yourself, "Yeah, something ain't quite right with him." That's what it is with Beasley.
Well, if you hooped on a high level, you know it's a lot of dudes like that. A lot of talent, boy. 2 + 2 = 5. You know what I mean? So when I hear players get so like socially active and say all this, I just keep it a bean. Like, man, a lot of athletes, bro, them dudes are not that smart, man. So I see them boys speak up on these issues. I'm like, hey, man, hey, bro, hey, go on, sit this out, dog. That's just real talk. That's real talk.
Anybody you ready to call up any rookies this year you're already concerned about, DJ? Any rookies you saying, okay, well, maybe this guy isn't gonna pan out and this may be a reach in the lottery?
This in the lottery. I'm not gonna say Obi yet because he's injured. Right. So I'm a sparrow.
Who you about to say?
I know Killian's injured, but before his injury, he didn't look right, man. Killian Hayes.
Yeah, bro. I don't see, and I will happily come on the channel and say if I'm tripping, because hoop jargon's right, 10-game intervals, no, you know what I'm saying, no training camp, you know what I mean, no preseason. I'm just speaking about what I see from his body and what I see from his game. If he was with the Spurs or somebody like that I know can develop players over time, I would be like, okay, I got more faith in Killian Hayes. But the fact he's with what LeVar Ball would call a raggedy ass organization, it makes me concerned about his game. And I'm kind of biased against left-hand point guards. Jalen Rose slick, him and Travis Best slick. They slick gave me PTSD. I'm gonna tell you a name that I'm kind of worried about too, and a lot of people gonna think I'm tripping. I'm worried about James Wiseman, man. I am worried about James Wiseman because reports are already coming out from the Golden State Warriors that he's having issues with the offense. Bro, you ain't won nothing, fam. You know what I'm saying? He's having issues with his role. Steve Kerr has had to have multiple conversations with him. I watched the game and he looks like he's ready to just jump off a building. Like, I don't know, man. Like, his style of big is becoming a dinosaur anyway. I don't know.
I think that's more youth than anything. And I was having this conversation with my friend today. When I stepped foot my freshman year at Stephen F. Austin State University out down in Nacogdoches, Texas. You know, we beat Duke last year. You know what I'm saying? At Duke, first time in like 10 years somebody beat. So we were talking about a mid to small major Division I program, right? In my 18-year-old mind, I thought I was going to come there and take that program over. And I found out real quick, I was probably the second, if not third to worst player in the program. I was tall, I was athletic, but I was skinny, I was weak. So Anthony Edwards, we talking about a cat who played with a handful of games, right? So he still thinks in his high school mind. So him coming to the Warriors now, this is his first time in his life where he ain't the focal point of a team, of an offense. So in his mind, it's going to be a process of maturation to understand that, like, bro, you're playing against the best of the best of the best of the best. It ain't going through you, homie. You got to, you know, create your opportunities in space. You got to rim defend. You got to rim run. And if you eventually, you know, knock that, you know, the deep shot down. And he's just going through that mental process. Like, that don't alarm me, to be perfectly honest with you. Now, if he was 22 years old, I would be a little more alarmed with maturity issues. But him being, 19, I would think that's pretty much on par of what you expect.
It alarms me, not just because of that. It's because really he does not fit the system. He is very uncomfortable in the offense, and he makes the offense uncomfortable. Draymond Green likes to get the board. He likes to go coast to coast, and he likes to distribute the ball and set Steph up. Really, when you bring in a lumbering ass big like James Wiseman in there, and that's why me and you I think we were agreeing when we said Melo going to that team. They really didn't need a James Wiseman. They really could have done with the JaVale McGee.
I agree with that.
And I'm sure the fear is this. The fear has to be from James Wiseman camp. It got to be this. If he's already making these complaints, it's got to be, do you guys know how to develop a big? Do you guys know how to use me? Am I here just to be a prop? And I hate to say it, hell yeah, you there to be a prop.
Right now, at least.
I mean, until Steph and Clay completely slow down, but by then, man, the game will be so far ahead as far as bigs that can shoot and handle the ball. I'm just worried about this guy.
It's not a fit at all, man. It's not a fit. And Sweatbox, boy, Sweatbox a fool. He said after he said that Killian Hayes ain't injured, they putting that kid on ice for a year and bringing him back through the G League next year for quote unquote rehab. He averaged 7 points in the German league, a step down from the NBL. He called Killian Hayes Frank Ntilikina 2.0.
Hey,
bruh. Hey, that might be facts.
7 points per game in the Bundesliga. That's the German league. That's not good. The Bundesliga
and they were saying this kid might be better than Melo.
No, the Bundesliga is not that good of a league, man. I played the second Bundesliga when I played in Germany. It ain't that good of a league. I mean, it's good, but NBA comparison good? No, sir. No, sir.
Wait, Derrell Spencer, who went to Charlotte? If
Oh, you
he
talking
said
about James Wiseman? Yeah, that was
if
a
he went,
perfect fit.
yeah, that was a perfect fit, actually. But the Charlotte fans are so happy that they got Lamelo. They couldn't believe they got Lamelo at third. My kinfolk from Fayetteville, man, he hit me up. He said, "How in the hell we get Lamelo Ball at 3?" I said, "Because people are emotional, brother."
Charlotte fans happy they got a team. Let's keep it
Uh-huh.
let's peel the onion all the way back on that one. Niggas be happy with anything. Shit.
LaMelo's teammate, Okoye, that's playing with the Hawks. How do you see him fitting in hoop jargon? And how do you see him fitting in DJ when it comes to the Hawks once he gets into the rotation?
I was just about to bow out. So I gave an hour, good fellas. I might have to pick up next stream. But no, man, I appreciate new media movement. Y'all have me on whatever. Y'all follow hoop jargon. And yeah, I got to step away though.
All right, peace out,
All right, brother.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Appreciate you so much for the opportunity, DJ, as always, brother. And Rev, yeah, you always bring that crack, as always, man.
All right, my brother.
Yes, sir. Peace, man.
Well, I answered the question then. I think Big O, aka Onyeka Okongwu, will be effective off the bench first because they already got their big man there. I think they're trying to trade John Collins. I could be wrong, but I think Big O will be effective in the paint. He can hit the mid range. He's very physical, and you know what you're going to get from Big O. He had a foot injury, so he couldn't play. Some experts, believe it or not, have said that they thought Big O would be better than James Wiseman. Now that still remains to be seen.
I saw that.
But when he comes back, he will give the Hawks a boost, a needed boost in a defensive presence.
Yeah. Yeah, they need a boost, DJ. They spent a lot of money. They spent a lot of money in this offseason, and it's not translating. The locker room is a shit show. More and more reports are coming out between John Collins and Trae Young, and I think you're wise in saying that they're going to try to trade John Collins. I see that as well because they got Big O back there, and you know what I mean. If he's already having issues with the team being shaped around Trae Young, they're gonna keep Trae over Collins any day.
No doubt.
Aunt James asked the question: did First Take or Skip or Shannon even acknowledge Melo breaking the triple-double record? Have they mentioned the Hornets or their first 4-game win streak since April 19th when Kimball was on the team? Short answer: hell no.
Not at all. I mean, those dudes are haters, man. A brother breaks a record being the youngest to ever have a triple-double. Not a sound from First Take or Undisputed. And I'm not surprised. I told y'all that was going to happen. Their beef with the Ball family is just toxic, man. They don't want any good news from that family, and it is what it is. LaMelo's going to keep his head down and keep working and put on a show. I got to give MJ his props, Rev. Shout out to MJ for not being emotional. There were people in the draft that were even questioning, should they take LaMelo Ball? Maybe they should take Big O. MJ and Mitch Kupchak stood to their guns and picked the player with the most potential in this draft. And man, so far they have struck gold. And I truly feel we're going to come back in this draft for years. We're going to look back, right? And say, how in the hell the Hornets pulled that off?
Yeah, that is a hell of a statement. And I'm in agreement with you, brother. You're right. MJ didn't have to pull the trigger, but he did pull the trigger. And it's wonderful to see that the kid is thriving in spite of whatever, you know what I mean? Because he could take the easy way out. He could take James Wiseman's way out, which is, and right now Wiseman's on the bench. sulking and complaining, and he's complaining to coaches already. And he's on a team that has actually won 3 championships. Melo is on a team that hasn't proven anything, and he seems to be right now being the better teammate. And who would have thought that, reading all that crap that they printed about Melo before the draft, being a cancer and being entitled and not wanting to play with a team and being selfish and a cherry picker? Who would have thought that LaMelo, you know what I'm saying, would be the great teammate that he is right now and be patient with his role coming off the bench and still producing at such a high clip?
Yeah, who would have known? You look at Wiseman, the body language, and I'm not trying to pick on Wiseman. I'm really not, but it's so obvious, man. His body language is just terrible, man. You're on
Yeah,
a team that's won 3 championships. You out here just pitching a fit. I don't like it, man.
to the point where Steve Kerr's not even denying it. Steve Kerr told, I think it was ESPN. He told one of the reporters, they were talking about it during the game, man, that he had to have a conversation with Wiseman about his role in the offense because Wiseman's not happy. I mean, that shit is. I mean, that's crazy as hell, man.
You know,
Bigs come a dime a dozen.
You know what's crazy, bro? LaMelo, before the draft, everybody was saying, how would he react? Is he a team player? From LaMelo scoring 0 points to LaMelo averaging a triple-double in the game. He's been consistent. He's always been a great teammate. So much so, he's been a great teammate to players. At times, may be jealous. Some will say jealous just by looking at how, like the Martin twins, he always gives them props. Devontae Graham, even though Devontae's trying to fight for his starting spot every day, he has always shown respect to him. So LaMelo, with limited minutes, all that adversity, he has been one of the most, probably the most out of the whole draft, humble players in this draft. It's not even close. He's doing everything the right way. He's asking questions. He's fun to be around. His teammates glow when they talk about him. Terry Rozier, he answered a question today about LaMelo, man. He was just, his face lit up. These players love him, man.
Yeah, they absolutely do. They absolutely. And it was an unfair judgment that they placed on the kid. And like I always say, a lot of racial undertones. I never forget right before the draft, Skip Baseless was saying that, well, right after the Charlotte Hornets drafted him, saying that MJ made a mistake because there's something about this kid. You know, he's not from Compton. He's not from the certain area. So is he going to be hungry to play? Like just racist ass bullshit, man. All the times he's bigged up Peyton Manning, who grew up a millionaire because his father is an NFL legend. You never question his desire, or was he tough enough to want to play football? You know what I'm saying? You never question that. So for him to question that because the kid grew up in Chino Hills, it just shows how ignorant these people are, just to think that a kid's entitled because his father has worked hard to build a brand and his brother busted his ass to get into the NBA. Why wouldn't you think that the guy is going to be motivated because he wants to play in the league himself and be the greatest of all time himself? Why won't you give a kid the benefit of the doubt? Because they always say right after they say these things about LaMelo, well, we haven't had a lot of time with him and we weren't able to really scout him because he wasn't playing here. Okay, so how do you know that he's entitled? What are you basing this off of?
Yeah, that old shitty ass media narrative. It never it never gets old, man. It's the same thing every year, and they're gonna do this. And this is a different sport with the NFL draft. They're gonna talk shit about uh, the Ohio State quarterback. Uh, they're gonna talk shit about him, even though he played with 2 broken ribs.
Yep.
2 broken ribs, didn't turn over the ball. And they're going to talk, they've been talking mess about him. So much so, they said that Mac Jones It's better than a brother. No, Mac Jones plays on the team that's loaded and has a receiver that's probably the best receiver that played in college in history besides Randy Moss.
Hell, forget Mac Jones, because I think Mac Jones gonna go late in the first round.
Yeah.
They're saying the kid from BYU.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the kid that lost to Coastal Carolina.
What?
I think his name is Zach Wilson or something like that.
Yeah, Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson. They're saying that he's better. I saw Zach Wilson play last year. He was very inconsistent. This year, he had a better year, but he plays for BYU. And the first real competition they played against, Coastal Carolina, they look like garbage. You know what I'm saying? But they've already moved him up in the mock draft ahead of Justin Fields. A lot of mock drafts. And I'm having a hard time understanding that, because the last time we saw Justin Fields, he put up 6 touchdowns on Trevor Lawrence, the guy that's the #1 pick. And the game he played against Alabama last night, he didn't have a bad game at all. He had a decent game. They were just outmatched. He didn't throw any interceptions. He didn't have any turnovers. So how does he drop in the draft? This is the kind of shit that drives me crazy. Just like you were saying with Lamelo. The kid is 6'7", visionary on the court, scored 90 points in a game, so you know he can score in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Yo, if a kid is coming off the bench as a rookie and goes 6 games in double figures, that guy can score. But how did they – I'm curious to know how they came up with their analysis of LaMelo Ball. And it even goes over to Jello, because if they were wrong about Melo, how can any of us ever say that they aren't wrong about Jello as well? What are they basing this scouting off of? I'm trying to understand, because we can see they was wrong as hell about Melo.
Oh man, the narratives, the bullshit narratives, and that's the amazing part about sports. You could compare each situation. They were wrong about LaMelo. Like God of Blackness said, Terry spoke highly of his maturity. He sure did. And before he was with the Charlotte Hornets, they were painting the picture that LaMelo was some arrogant, rich snob kid, and that's not the case. He had to go through the hardest adversity any young teenager could go through. He had to go to crappy old Lithuania. And if you're a Lithuanian citizen, I apologize, but come on, it's cold out there and there's nothing to do. He had to go out there. Hey, I'm just keeping it real, brother. And he had to play for a crummy coach, Coach Suskus, who didn't even want them there anywhere to begin with. Then he had to play in the JBA, and everybody was hating on the JBA and didn't take it seriously. They took him away from every single ranking, every single draft board. Then he comes back to high school. And then when he was done playing at Spire, they gave him a number 23 overall high school ranking. Now, I know there weren't 23 high school players better than LaMelo Ball. This dude almost averaged a triple-double a game for Spire. And like Mikey Loud says, honestly, everything you just said about LaMelo's situation, got to give him an A+ so far. Yeah. Got to give LaMelo A+ of how he's handled himself. He's been a mature person this whole season, and it's paying off for the Hornets. The Hornets play very hard. Everybody is, even though there's some jealous teammates, of course, everybody's not taking it too far and not causing beef. So that's a good thing where they got going on. All they got to do is make some more plays for LaMelo Ball to get him active and to keep the offense flowing. Hopefully James Borrego could fix that. God of Blackness says the road to LaMelo took much respect. I couldn't do it. Yeah, a lot of us couldn't do it. Oh, I wouldn't.
So you saying you won't be trying to be in Lithuania with Dracula and shit? Yo,
Man, heck
they
no.
showed a scene on Ball in the Family. I swear to God. Bro, when Leangelo and Melo were walking through the streets of Lithuania, I was like, man, that shit looked like some Dracula. Like it just looked it looked desolate. It looked desolate and cold. But I got a news flash that I want to talk about it, and it's regarding LaMelo Ball. And I want y'all to hold me to this. LaMelo Ball is already better than Ben Simmons. Let's end this argument tonight. Like, I'm here for it, man. LaMelo Ball is already better at basketball than Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons had 5 points tonight. 5 points, I think 12 assists and 6 rebounds. Bro, we can't be hard on Lonzo if Ben Simmons is going to continue to play like this. I don't think he scored 20 points in a game this year. He seems like he's becoming the king of 16. Now, why does Ben Simmons get a pass and Lonzo don't get a pass? I think it's unacceptable for your quote-unquote point guard not to even attempt three-pointers because he's afraid he's going to miss them. So, yes, I said it. I want y'all to hold me to this by the end of the year. LaMelo Ball is already better than Ben Simmons because he can shoot threes. How about that?
Boy, they gonna be hating on my channel, bro.
I know they coming, but just post that 5 points.
You got a right to your opinion, man. That's why I like this channel, man. Everybody got a right to their opinion. Ben Simmons, he need to start taking threes. Because if we're gonna get on Lonzo for not being assertive when he doesn't attack the basket, we got to be fair to Ben Simmons not attempting a single three. He's been in the league since 2016, and he can't take at least one. No, he can't even take three-point attempts a game. Can't even do that. I've never seen that type of stuff before.
Me either. It's like he has a psychological block against shooting threes, bro. Look, let's keep it real, man. For all the people that hate Lonzo and call him a scribe and all of this stuff, bro. If Lonzo had a game with 5 points, I remember when he was on TNT and he had a game like that, and like they made the whole show was a roast of Lonzo. Ben Simmons has a lot of mediocre games as far as scoring, and his impact with Embiid being in the post, it doesn't even force Ben Simmons to be a real factor because you always have the fallback that is Embiid. Yeah, man, to me, Melo already better than him, man. What you think about that, DJ? Do you think that Melo is better than Ben Simmons?
I'll say this. I won't say better because I still got to see LaMelo play. But I love his potential. I'll say this. I'll take a LaMelo type of guard any day. I can't take a guard that's afraid to do anything. I can't take a guard that's afraid to attack the basket or afraid to shoot threes. Either player that does that type of stuff, afraid to do this, afraid to do that. I don't want to take that type of athlete on my team if I was a coach. So I'll choose the one that takes chances, and I'll keep it like that. But man, this has been an amazing show, man. We've been at this thing for an hour and 30 minutes, had some good laughs, good topics. We got to do this thing tomorrow, man.
Yeah, man, it's been a hell of a show.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Represent that new media. We are a nation united. We are a family. And remember, to get notifications, hit the bell on the subscription on the channel. Just hit the bell. You'll get a notification, and you'll be able to watch my shows live on the daily. Yeah, you heard Geo Blackness. He says, hit that like button. All praise to the Most High. Peace.